at one thing because you mentioned psychology. I realized I didn't even really talk about it from a psychological perspective. I shared the neuroscience of it.
Yeah.
The psychology part comes into play is, first of all, every guy that's doing it, like we said, it's not a conversation that we're really having all the time. So there's always this kind of secrecy component. Well, if there's something that I'm actually going to doing, but I'm not willing to talk about it, does that mean that what I'm doing, like there's something wrong with it? So we're having this internal dialogue, but yet you're seeking this out to get this feel good, to get this what you feel is a pleasure. So you're seeking that out, but then internally you know that's not right. So you're literally start having this internal battle, like cognitive dissonance. The behavior that I'm acting in is not congruent with the values at which I, see myself at. And that's where it really becomes like a psychological warfare in the man's mind, because he wants it. His body is telling him, yeah, he go gets it. And then the minute he's done, guilt, shame, like these feelings of like inadequacy, you're a loser, this and that. He just starts beating himself up. And that's a dangerous place to be in, of that self-sabotage, like no value in who I am. So I think that was an important thing to add as well. That immediately creates that level of cognitive dissonance inside of our own internal dialogue.
Absolutely, man. That bleeds a lot into what I teach men, but that creates, like you said, incongruency or inauthenticity with yourself. So all of a sudden you show up a shell of who you truly are because you're not confident in who you are, because you're lying to everybody. You're lying behind closed doors, and you're keeping all that within. And then all of a sudden you're trying to be this person that people respect out here, like you were, you're trying to be this person of influence, but then in the shadows, you're not congruent with that. So that's always going to cause dissension within yourself. I love that you pointed that out. That's really, really good point there. So what are you seeing? What are you seeing in relationships? What are guys that are doing this? What's the typical experience of their relationships that you hear about and that you see from this?
Well, I subscribe to the philosophy, and I'm sure you do as well. Just a little bit I know about you. How you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you have a secret in one area of your life, if you're not sharing everything, then that's probably showing up in other areas as well. So for one, the man's self-value is or self-worth or self-confidence has just been shattered because of that conversation that we just had with that kind of internal battle. So he's not able to show up in the relationship as he needs to because the value of himself is so deteriorated. Like he just feels like he's a lesser version. He's got no real worth to the woman. And then the woman's side of things, that she's taking it personally, like, oh, he doesn't find me attractive. This is where I'm getting a lot, like, not an area that I feel super, super strong in speaking to females, but I'm exposing myself to some people, and I'm recruiting other people onto my team to have those, because I think that it's important to tell women, like, it's not because he doesn't love you. It's not because he doesn't find you attractive. Like, I loved the woman that I was with. She was beautiful. She was gorgeous. Like, I wanted to marry her. I wanted to have a family with her. My problem was it was in my brain. It had been hijacked. I didn't even understand it. So the woman is dealing with this whole other battle where she's taking all this personally and she's not able to see it. So she needs to kind of have like some support and let you know, like, there's nothing to do with you. Like, your husband's not an alcoholic because he doesn't find you attractive. He's not a drug addict because he doesn't find you attractive. So I'm going to tell you, he's not addicted to porn because he doesn't find you attractive. That's not how it works. But yeah, I would say probably the biggest issue is the men just not being able to show up in the full manner and capacity that they need to, because I believe that pornography prevents you from fully being the man that you were created to be. And you'll never have a successful relationship, just a fraction of yourself.